Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wrassle Graps. I know it's been a while. My name is Chris, and like I said, yeah, it's been a minute. Um, Part of that reason being that me and Vincent, we both had some issues being able to sit down and record, with college and everything. He's having audio issues on his side, which you probably heard in the Mania review, which is why I had to do his review for Wendy's parking lot. If you haven't seen that, I know it's been 2 months, but for some reason you still want to see it. Why not check it out? I guess. Um, but yeah, that's it's been 2 months. It really has. It hasn't felt like that long, but it has been that long. 2 months. Last time we were here was the Mania review, but today I guess we're here to talk about Raw because why not? I guess I don't know. I just recently, talked to Vincent, and both of us thought it was pretty weird that we just kind of stopped doing this, even with everything going on. For both of us, we just figured maybe we should get back into it. So even though he isn't able to today, um, I'm here, of course, doing a solo review, which if that was awkward before, last time I've done one of these, which I don't know if I actually uploaded any of those, but if I didn't, you all know. But if I was awkward in those ones before, boy, 2 months of being out of practice is gonna make it so much worse. But hopefully it ain't that bad. So what we talked about, Monday Night Raw, the go home show for Hell in a Cell. Um, Believe it or not, ever since um we stopped doing reviews and stuff, I haven't actually seen an episode of Raw. So this is kind of my first venture back into that show for a while. And honestly, I had a whole plan. I was gonna come in here, do a whole apology gag. I was gonna do titles, gonna say, "All right, I gotta apologize," and it's gonna be me apologizing to myself, making myself watch Raw. But to be honest, I really didn't hate it. Um, of course, it's 3 hours. I got bored halfway through, but it wasn't as horrible as I expected it to be. And sometimes for Monday Night Raw, that's a win. Now, I'm not saying it was a good show by any means because it had a ton of problems, but I didn't hate it. Which sometimes for Raw, that's all you can ask. So let's hop into this go home show for Hell in a Cell. Apparently, that's this week, by the way. I forgot about that. That's this Sunday. I didn't even know that was this Sunday. It's kind of just found out about that while watching the show. But we'll talk about that later. For now, let's kick off the show. Let's start with Alexa's Playground. Um, Basically, there was a Lily segment last week, which received a lot of backlash from people. I saw it. I didn't really know how to feel about it. But you hate it. That's fair. If you thought it was good, good for you, I guess. But it was really odd. It really was. But she says it was all Lily's fault. Says she had no intention of anyone getting hurt, but while she's talking, Nia Jax shows up. Um, what happened then? Challenged Shayna to. Oh, wait, no, she didn't challenge Shayna. Shayna challenged Bliss to a match at Hell in the Cell. That got confirmed. Nia Jax was just letting her know about that. But for now, she's just asking what happened to Bliss, how'd she get this way? But, nothing new there. Bliss will the answer. Um, or she might have. I kind of zoned out during this promo, not gonna lie. But bottom line, this leads to Bliss versus Nia Jax later on down the line. And from there, you go to the first match tonight. Nikki Cross versus Charlotte Flair, which is a storyline I kind of understand. I know that Nikki Cross keeps getting fluke victories, and tonight was actually no different. Actually, so the match starts as soon as it starts. Rhea Ripley comes out. Um, Nikki Cross goes for a roll up, doesn't work. Match goes on for a couple more minutes. Then they end up on the outside, both Nikki and Charlotte. Um, Charlotte's beating down on Nikki, and then she takes a second to go and uh, tease Rhea, takes her eyes off of the match. Nikki gets in the ring, and Charlotte gets out because she was too busy making faces at Rhea and posing. So she loses because she was being an idiot. and she's mad at Nikki, so she'll beat her up. And then Rhea beats up Charlotte, stands tall. And that wasn't it for the whole Charlotte Rhea stuff. But for now, that's basically it. So before I go any further, let's digest this whole thing here. So Charlotte here, speeding up Nikki, apparently is very deaf, cannot hear the 10 count that's going on. Or she's either very deaf or just doesn't care really. Goes to taunt Rhea Ripley. For some reason, doesn't know the referee's at 8 or whatever he was at. Nikki, as like a smart person, or just isn't deaf, gets in the ring and wins. Charlotte's mad at Nikki, even though it was 100% her fault that she got counted out. Let me tell you guys, this is the kind of inept storytelling that I did not miss from Monday Night Raw. Who knows, actually, maybe that apology to myself might come at the end of this episode. Who knows? The more I talk about this, the more I think maybe I am sorry that I watched the show, but not sorry that I'm back talking to you guys. Please leave a thumbs up if you are happy to be here also, I guess. Anyways, let's move on from this. We'll talk more about this feud later on because there is a little bit more to it. But for now, there is a RK Bro recap from last week. So like I said, I've missed on Raw for a little bit. But apparently Riddle and Orton are the highlight of the show every week. So it's pretty good for them. I'm pretty interested in their storyline because, honestly, they're the most interesting thing on the show. Their match with New Day, which I'll get to in a little bit. I really enjoyed it. But for now, just stay on track here. Riddle wants tag advice from Jeff Hardy's backstage. Jeff Hardy tells him it's about trust and that he should listen to Randy Orton. Then he has this weird line because the whole time he's talking to Riddle with his eyes closed, and he has this weird line where he talks to Matt. He says, "For now, I have to," and he dramatically opens his eyes and says, "Now I have to go," like that. And he walks off, doesn't walk off yet. Riddle's actually going on a tangent, like, "Oh, you have 4 eyes? That's crazy, man," and whatever else he said. Riddle was going on and on. Jeff disappears. Riddle's surprised. Orton shows up, tells Riddle to be himself, but confirms he, in fact, does not like Riddle just yet. Moving forward, Jeff Hardy, like I said, had into a match, and that was against John Morrison. I wasn't super interested in this match, as if you were around since 2007, you probably saw it back then. But, it happened. It wasn't long, so I can't be that mad about it, I guess. Morrison did a pre-match attack on Jeff Hardy. Then Cedric came out and did a weird thing that Rhea did, I guess. Where you walk out and you just kind of stare at the ring or try to distract somebody. It happened several times throughout the show, actually. This weird distraction thing. But this was instance number 2 of that. He's out there watching the match. Um, Miz or Morrison hits Jeff Hardy with the dripstick. I'm not kidding. That's a real term for whatever that was that they used. I'm not making this up. Commentary said it several times, so if you think I am making it up, I can't blame you. Then, Morrison won. Whatever. Miz and Morrison are gone for the night. Can't complain. I'm not the biggest fan of their act. So, I don't know. Apparently, while I zoned out WWE for a little bit, I missed. Apparently, they had this whole zombie thing to tie in with Army of the Dead, and I don't know what was up with that. I heard that it was one of the worst things that's happened this year, but if you'd like to play in that, please tell me down below in the comments if you're watching on YouTube or, just send us a tweet about yes, whatever you want to do. But now that the Morrison stuff's over, Cedric he has a mic, he explains that he's mad at Jeff being a sore winner. He should have retired him. And then Jeff Hardy is out of nowhere. Says that if Cedric could beat him in a match now, then he actually will retire. And from this point forward, one of two things are going to happen. Jeff, like you said, loses and retires, or Cedric loses and looks really bad because he's a fresh guy, hasn't had a match losing to a guy who has had a match, lost that match, and is nowhere near 100%. And what do you think about the fact that it's Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy is just going to retire on a random Raw show? You're left with the obvious outcome, which is what they did. They loses to Jeff Hardy, and uh, it makes no sense. How do you lose to a fresh John Morrison while fresh, and then beat Cedric Alexander while he's still fresh? I mean, I get you can't have Jeff be retired, but at the same time, just don't have Jeff say that. Just have him challenge Cedric to a match, I guess, and then Cedric could win because there's nothing really on the line there. Just give Cedric the win. I'm gonna just point out the fact he was taken out of the Hurt Business, as was Shelton Benjamin, for this storyline, I guess. I know they had a series of matches, Cedric and Shelton. I didn't see them, but I heard they were bad. I heard they were pretty good actually. But when you look at where Cedric was a few months ago, compare where he is right now, it ain't looking that good. So hopefully it gets better for him there, but it ain't looking that good. Not gonna lie to you. Next up, we have a recap of Drew McIntyre and his feud with Bobby Lashley. Feud that I enjoyed at the beginning, just because I love both these guys. I think they're both great. They have some great matches together, especially last year. And I enjoyed their Mania match. I didn't see the Backlash thing with Strowman. I'm sure it's really good though. They're gonna go into Hell in a Cell now, have a match there. As much as I like the two of these guys and I like them having matches, I really hope this is the last one. Just because they're really doing it to death at this point, and it's nowhere near as enjoyable as it was before. But we'll get to the actually no, before we move on from that, actually, in this video package, Drew McIntyre cut a table in half with a sword, and I thought that was kind of interesting. That's probably my favorite thing that I saw all night. It's one of them. It didn't even happen on this show. It happened last week apparently, or Drew McIntyre during a contract signing with Lashley for the match for this Hell in a Cell match, takes the sword and he cut the table in half. And apparently no one's talking about this for some reason. I think it should be a bigger deal actually. It's because it's one of the dumbest things I've seen in a while. But it's just enjoyable to me. I don't know why. Anyways, we get to the long awaited, for some people, I guess, re-debut of Eva Marie taking on Naomi. No, I don't know if anyone actually thought she was going to wrestle tonight, or if you saw the reports on what was going to happen there. But Eva actually did not wrestle, so shocker, you know. She actually brought out Piper Niven, who the Raw commentary apparently doesn't know because they don't watch NXT UK like most people. So Niven takes the place of Eva, beats Naomi pretty quick actually, and then Eva takes the credit. So I don't know who this is helping, to be frankly honest with you. Certainly not Naomi, who a lot of people are a big fan of, and she is a really good wrestler. And you gotta feel bad that this is what they're doing to her. You really do. And then it's Eva. Since really anybody, I'm nothing against Eva or Piper. I'm sure they're both great people. I don't know what this does for anybody, honestly. Who's gonna maybe Piper Niven looks good out of this. Piper Niven is the name of the person that was with Eva, in case you didn't know. But I don't know who really looks good coming out of this. Like I said, probably Niven, but at the end of the day, I don't know. It's weird. It's not. I don't think anyone tuned in for this. I don't think anyone's gonna be tuning in because of this. So I don't know what this did for anybody. But move on now. So it got to a segment that happened earlier in the day. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are doing a photo shoot. And for some reason, 5 feet away in the wrestling ring, that's conveniently there, Natalia and Tamina are training, trying to get better. Rosenberg, for some reason, are upset that they're making noise, even though you can't hear noise in the picture, so why does it matter? But they're very upset about this. They go over and they say, "What are you doing over here? Can you cut it out or whatever?" And Natalia says, "Maybe if you cared about training more, and you'd be better in the ring," which I guess isn't wrong, you know. And then Rose or Brooke, one of them, says that if they didn't have the last names that they did, Natalia and Tamina. They would have been out of the company a while ago. And then they got into a huge brawl. They were pulled apart by officials. And that's it for that. I thought it's gonna lead to a match. They don't show up again at all throughout the rest of the night. So I don't know. Maybe they get put on Hell in a Cell because they really would. As of now, there's only 5 matches, which sounds pretty good to me. I don't think that you need any more. Just because like a nice short pay-per-view, especially with 2 Hell in a Cell matches. But who knows? Maybe they those actually to be short or something. So then we get to Drew McIntyre being interviewed. He said some stuff about beating Bobby Lashley, nothing too out of the ordinary. Then we get to my favorite match of the night, personally. New Day versus RK Bro. Had a fantastic match filled with some great near falls, some great chemistry between both teams. I really enjoyed this, honestly. So, the match ends, of course, with Orton hitting an RKO out on Xavier Woods. Pins him for the win. They still aren't on good terms, Riddle and Orton, but I guess they're going to be a team going forward. And, sorry, I just got a text, but anyways, yes, they'll be a team going forward. They're interesting to see where they go because they don't know if they're going to go after the tag titles. They're going to have a weird spot with Omos and Styles, and I am a big fan of those guys. I do like them. I just don't know what they're going to do going forward there. But that's it for that, really. I know I didn't say much about it, but it's a good match. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. So we get to a Rhea Ripley interview. It says some more stuff. I kind of zoned out. It says you'll be Charlotte at Hell in the Cell, I'm sure, something along those lines. But then we get to Rhea versus Asuka for the 9th time. Rhea wins. Charlotte attacks Rhea, and they get to a brawl for a couple minutes. And I guess that's the final build-up for the match at Hell in a Cell, which I'm really not super interested in, just because I don't like that Charlotte keeps getting more opportunities because it probably means she's gonna win. I don't really want to see that, to be honest. I mean, she's obviously great in ring, but I don't know. She's just really unlikable, not in the heel way. Just how Baron Corbin, you see him, and you really wish he just wasn't there. You really wish he would just go away for a little bit. It's kind of like that with Charlotte. And I don't know. Rhea hasn't been that good either recently. Ever since she went to the main roster, I know she's champion and all, but they aren't doing her any favors there, at least with the character. So I'm trying to have a good match at Hell in a Cell. It's just I'm not really that interested in it. Next, we get to MVPs and being interviewed. Of course, they're in the lounge with the woman over there doing whatever they're doing. I don't know what's up with them, why they're there, but I can only imagine that MVP just found them one day and hired them to just follow Lashley, just follow him around. But I don't know. Maybe if you guys have your theories, please do let me know. I would be very interested. Or if you could just tell me the reason that they're there, just in general, that would also be nice. But MVP says that he will. I'm sorry, not him, but Lashley will beat Drew McIntyre down in the cell, and then Lashley basically reiterates that by grabbing the mic and saying the same thing. Then we move forward to a Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss match, which is of course set up earlier in the night. And Bliss wins by DQ after a relatively quick match. Nothing too crazy happened there. Reginald shows up, uh, pulls Bliss off of a cover. Ref calls for the bell. Then you have a weird thing where Bliss is, I guess, hypnotizing Reginald. I I don't know. It's a weird thing. She's like staring at him and moving her head, and Reginald would follow. And it was just really odd. I don't know what's happening there, but who knows, really. Alexa Bliss character just gets weirder and weirder every day. It's it really is odd. They just took that character from Bray and gave it to her. No one knows what Bray is. It's, it's just an odd thing. But moving forward, uh, MVP goes up to the New Day. And he basically tries to tell Kofi that the reason that Kofi Mania is dead because of Xavier Woods, and walks off. I know there was probably more to it. Not gonna lie to you, I got distracted. Uh, I have a cat now, so of course, cat kept coming over and wanted to play, so I did, and missed out on the segment unintentionally. I'm sure it was a good promo though. Next up, we get to a match I don't think anyone's really interested in. Elias versus Jackson and Riker. Now, this is an interesting case because I don't exactly know what Riker did, but I know he's done enough to be one of those guys where whenever someone gets released or immediately after, you always go in the comment section on Twitter, and whenever you used to see like names like, oh, yeah, Velveteen Dream is still employed, like this person's gone, but this person's still here. Right after Velveteen Dream, Riker would always be the guy right under him that people would be like, oh, Riker's still here, but you got rid of this person. And so, you know, it's just one of those weird things, honestly, that they're trying to push him as this baby face against Elias when he's such an unlikable person outside of the ring, or at least based off of stuff he's done in the past, you know. So you put you in a weird position where you don't really want to cheer for Elias because he's the bad guy, and you don't want to cheer for Riker either because you don't really like him. This match boils down to why do I care enough to watch it? But I did for the sake of the review. Riker's basically beating down Elias for a little bit, tossing him around. And Elias, I guess, is scared of him, so he intentionally gets counted out this time, unlike Charlotte, who accidentally got counted out earlier on in the night. Uh, I'm assuming this feud's going to continue with Riker as a face. I have no interest in that, really, but we'll see where it goes. No, by this point, it was 10:20, I think, and the main event was starting up with Drew and AJ. So from that point, the eventual uh, kind of thought, well, not the eventual thought, but the initial thought is put in your head that something's going to happen here. This is somehow going to become a tag team match because deep down you just know they're not going to give Drew and AJ a 40-minute match. It's not going to happen. And before the match starts, Bobby Lashley comes out with MVP and the ladies who are sitting on the stage. I still don't know what they're doing there. I still don't know how they got there, but apparently they're just there. It's one of those things people just don't question anymore. Who really knows? But I am curious, so please do let me know what's up with that. So Drew wins by DQ because I think was it Bobby Lashley or almost got involved. It's one of those guys. And no wait, so I had written down my notes wrong. Sorry. Um, so before this, Bobby Lashley's coming down to the ring because Drew insulted him. He's coming down to the ring almost as outside of the ring, and then the Viking Raiders come out to kind of keep an eye on Drew and have his back. Go to commercial, have a bit more of Drew versus AJ. Then Drew wins by DQs. I think Lashley got involved or almost one of them. And then go to commercial again. And as you thought, the eventual six-man tag did happen. It was Drew and the Viking Raiders versus Bobby Lashley, AJ, and Omos. I wasn't super interested in this. I don't think anyone particularly was. Um, I don't know, man. I was watching Raw for 3 hours after you haven't done in a while. It's harder than you think. It really is. God. Um, my bottom line is, it was okay. It wasn't anything super special. AJ, at one point, accidentally tags in Bobby Lashley instead of Omos. Uh, Omos and Bobby seem very confused by this, but Drew hits a Claymore and Bob pins him, gets the win, and they have a stare down to end the show. So, after 2 months of watching Raw, sorry, my voice is a little weird, by the way. Just not talking a lot in a while. Just not used to it, but 2 months of not watching Raw, and you come back and it's kind of better than you thought, but not really. It's not that good. Um, am I sorry that I put myself through 3 hours of this? yeah, when me and Vincent eventually get back to our normal filming or recording schedule, will Raw be a part of this our little schedule? Most likely not. Um, we're thinking about doing AEW SmackDown, potentially adding an NXT in place of Raw. Now that it's on Tuesday, we're still going to talk about that though. But uh, I don't think we're going to be watching Raw anytime soon. See, bottom line. But for someone who did watch Raw 2 months after not doing it, it's in a weird place now where every match someone's interfering, someone's causing someone in the queue, or someone's doing something stupid to get counted out. There's no definitive wins really happening. No one's really getting over. No storylines make a lot of sense. There's only one or two things on the show that anyone actually cares about. And really is a rough place to be in. Especially after those comments from last week by Triple H, where Triple H gets mad at everybody for speculating on things and says you can watch the show if you want or don't. He doesn't really care or whatever. He's mad, he's mad at the fans because the fans get mad at the product for not being good. But when the product's like this and has all the problems that I mentioned, how do you blame people for not wanting to watch a show like this? It's it's baffling, really. And quite frankly, if you haven't seen Raw in a while and somehow you stuck it through this review and you stayed with me, thankfully, appreciate it if you did. Um, if you haven't watched Raw in a while and you want to know, should you go back to it? Or should you just keep looking at the results on Twitter or Instagram or whatever you get the results? I would highly recommend you just keep on doing what you're doing and just check out Twitter, check out Instagram. Monday nights, don't bother watching this for 3 hours. It's really not worth it. It just isn't. Um, Overall thoughts on the show. Like I said, I really can't recommend it, frankly. I, I know earlier I was a little bit positive on it, so it was better than I expected, but talking about it more with you guys, I just, it's not really that good. It's just not. And it's basically it for my thoughts on Raw. Um, Will I be talking about Hell in a Cell or doing more stuff? I don't know, really. This is more of a spur of the moment thing where I decided to watch Raw out of nowhere yesterday, and I thought, may as well do something, trying to get back into recording. Will it be a rough recording because I haven't done this in a while? I knew the answer was yes, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully, maybe I'll do some stuff for Hell in a Cell, maybe a predictions review, something like that. But for now, I think that's pretty much it. If you stuck with me throughout this whole time, like I said, thank you. Please consider subscribing, even a thumbs up if you're listening on Anchor. Then please do keep listening, or Anchor. You wouldn't be listening to it on Anchor, would you? But whatever podcast place you do listen to this on, consider leaving a review, something like that. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. Greatly appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys next time.